What's up, everybody, and welcome to another Black Ops 4 video. First of all, before we jump into the topic here, I just want to thank everybody that checked out my last video, the New Year's Eve special. That video was a lot of fun to make. What you saw in 30 minutes was a compilation of 5 hours of gameplay, so it took forever to edit that. And it was awesome to see the support that video got. You know, it pulled more views, more comments, and more likes than I normally get on a normal video. So seeing that support on a video that took a lot of work is awesome. So thank you for that. If you haven't seen the video, check it out. Link is in the description. It's really funny. But anywho, to the matter at hand now. I said in a previous video that I would make a video on the two new guns that came with Operation Zero, the Demon SMG and the SWAT AR, but I still haven't got them. I'm really close to the Demon, but we'll get there. Because it's taken so long, I got to thinking about what's the best way to tier up in Black Ops and the best way to, get these guns quickly. And so I started to look around on YouTube to kind of find some answers, and most videos stated that tier progress was really only based on time. But nothing really backed it up or showed how that was correct. So I decided to test it myself, and I'm going to share my findings with you. So, to test if time in game was truly what determined tier progress, I played 2 games of TDM, both of which had identical scores of 1,050 points. I played these games with the Paladin to ensure that all the kills were mine. I didn't get any assists. I didn't use any specialist weapons, gadgets, or score streaks, so everything in the game was controlled strictly to show the effect of game time, show the effect that game time had on tiers. I took a screenshot of both after action reports, as you'll see, and measured the tier progress. The first game lasted for 8 minutes and 39 seconds, and I measured the tier progress by its length in pixels. The full tier bar itself is 845 pixels wide, so that's how many pixels it takes to get one tier. And the tier progress I got from that game was 139 pixels, which gives us, when you divide the game time by that number, you get roughly 16.069 pixels per minute. Take 845, the total pixel length of a full tier, and divide it by the 16.069, and you get roughly 52 minutes and 35 seconds of gameplay for one tier. The second game with identical score lasted 7 minutes and 31 seconds, and I progressed through that tier bar by 123 pixels. By doing the same math as shown from the first game, we learned that we gained 16.36 pixels per minute on the progress bar, which is the equivalent of 51 minutes and 38 seconds of gameplay for one tier. So the difference between the two games is only off by a minute, and that minute could be a result of me messing up the timer for the games or computing error on the game. But that minute is only 1.9% variation, which is, low enough to not be concerning statistically. So I know, statistically, I just use the word statistically. This video is about to get real mathematical, really nerdy. So next I played a third game where I played without restrictions, score restrictions, to see if performance affected anything. In this game, I had a higher KD ratio, higher score per minute. I used specialist stuffs and score streaks too. So the game lasted 6 minutes and 58 seconds. The tier bar moved by 113 pixels. So again, using the same math as the first two games, the bar moved at 16.22 pixels a minute, which is the equivalent of 52 minutes and 6 seconds to complete one full tier progress bar. So clearly performance does nothing, and tier progress is based on game time alone. So averaging the data of the 3 tested games, you get a little under 2% tier completion per minute played, which means it takes 52 minutes and 7 seconds of pure game time, not including time spent in lobbies. It takes 52 minutes and 7 seconds to rank up an entire tier. So if time is the only thing that matters when it comes to tier progression, then the next question that I asked was, what's the best game mode, what's the most efficient game mode time-wise to make sure that, I'm ranking up as efficiently as possible. So if you play multiplayer, I'd recommend Domination, because those tend to be longer games. Safeguard is good too when it gets into overtime, but that isn't always guaranteed. But we'll keep using TDM as an example here. So my previous 5 TDM games average out to about 8 minutes of game time, and it takes roughly 1 minute and 30 seconds depending on servers to get from the end of one game to the beginning of the next, which means roughly 84.21% of your time is spent in-game, meaning it'll take you exactly 62 minutes and 42 seconds of game time and lobby time to move a full tier. Then there's Blackout. If you're good at Blackout, like if you really play your life and if you really play the zones, the game can last a while. I tested one Blackout game and ran the same math as I did for the first 3 games. The match lasted 22 minutes and 1 second, and I actually won this game, which is why it took so long. The bar moved 350 pixels, meaning I earned 15.897 pixels a minute, which gives us 53 minutes and 9 seconds of game time to earn a full tier. So again, the numbers are similar as multiplayer. Game mode does not matter, but time in game versus time in lobby does, and that's where Blackout is slightly better. Keyword slightly. So let's say on average your Blackout game is 15 minutes per game, and your time to begin the next game is 2 minutes and 30 seconds depending on servers. That's about 85.71% of all your time spent in game, and that means you'll complete a full tier in 61 minutes and 36 seconds. That's only better than multiplayer's time by 1 minute and 6 seconds. But again, if your average game lasts longer than 15 minutes, your efficiency will be better, but only marginally. See, if you played Blackout for 100 hours and someone else played multiplayer for 100 hours, you would only be ahead of the multiplayer dude by a little more than 2 tiers. So 100 hours and only 2 tier ahead, it's not a lot. So in summary, regardless if you play Blackout or multiplayer, you will get about 1 tier an hour. Really the only thing you can do to tier up and make sure you get everything is just do your daily tier skip every day. Even if you don't have a lot of time to play, just make sure you get 1 win so you're not scrambling towards the end of the season to get all the stuff you wanted. Better yet, you can avoid paying for stuff if you're the type of person to do that. I think the season lasts in total for 69 days. That's a huge chunk of the tier list. So get your daily skips and the rest will come. So no cheeky way to tier up fast. It's just strictly based on time in game. So that's my advice for you. If you enjoyed the video and my first time actually using the knowledge given to me by my stats class, leave a like on the video, comment, make sure you subscribe and tap that bell, and stay tuned for the next video.